But never mind that. Look what's in this next room. Yeah, I saw what's in this next room. I know what's in here. Hello, hey, Stinkbug. We catcha. Stinkbug thinks it's hiding. I love how it doesn't even show like a face or anything, just like a thing just standing there. Hey, Ladder, long time no see. We know you're not gonna talk, but, you know, it's still good to see ya. Nope. Well, he's talking now. Yes, it's me, Ladder, the bell ringer. Okay, you're kind of blowing my mind here. I didn't know you could talk. It must be a real shock to hear me speaking for once. Yeah, I guess we're right on the money there. Did you teach yourself how to talk with all those books that are piled on there? It wasn't that I couldn't talk all this time, I just simply chose not to. Oh. Is it like a Tom and Jerry thing where it's like, well, you can talk? Yeah, I could always talk, I just didn't have anything to say. As I rang that crossroad bell, deep inside my heart I had decided I would speak to no one. Why? Oh. We're getting some piano music now. This sounds a lot like Gymnopids is like a Russian, no, German? I don't know, but it's by a composer that I really like a lot. This is actually one of my favorite piano pieces. Gymnopédie or something like that, I forget. I think it's French or German or whatever. Either way, it's awesome. And I was not expecting to see like a 16-bit version of this song. Not here. Anyway. But the secrets I've been guarding are now starting to leak out. Lucas, the time has come to tell you everything. Oh god, are we gonna get like an info dump of like, this is all a dream or you're in the Matrix or something, what? What I'm about to tell you, you might not want to know. Even so, you absolutely must hear it. It will be a long story, but please listen to it all. Sure. The more I can listen to this music, the better. Given who you are and how you've lived, what I have to say will tear at your hearts. Oh, don't tell me that, man. Just say it, dude. Don't build it up. And there's so much to tell. So I've decided to have the Stinkbug trembling behind me memorize everything I say. Ready, Mr. Stinkbug? Oh yeah, the scientist said that Stinkbugs are really good at memorizing things, so I guess this is gonna be like a book that, or like a notebook that I can just go ahead and resort back to if I ever forget. Long ago, there existed a world different from what people on these islands think of. This world was incredibly big. More people lived on this world than there are grains of salt on these salt, moron. Well, it makes sense, but whatever. There are grains of sand on these nowhere islands. I know it may be hard to imagine, but such a world once existed. Understand? Yeah, I gotcha. So this is not the default world. Something used to exist before these islands, and apparently it's gone now? At some point, the world wound up destroyed. Yeah, there we go. Naturally, it was humans who destroyed it. Yeah, again, social commentary. In the back of their minds, everyone had an inkling that it would happen at some point. And then it really did happen. And so the world is no more. Kinda like real life right now. Everything so far has been about the end of the world. Did you understand all of it? Yeah, I do. As a matter of fact, it scares me how I understand it more than you might think. Just before the end of the world, a white ship came to these islands. On it were all people of Tazmily Village. Yes, aboard the white ship were those few who had managed to escape the world. The people on the ship still went by their names from the previous world. This white ship plan had been set in place before the world was destroyed. And although they're part of the world, these Nowhere Islands are a special place. They were the one place that would remain, even if the world was lost. The one and only place where people could survive. And so the white ship arrived at these islands. Everything so far has been about the white ship. Did you understand all of it? Yeah, so basically, the world ended by some inexplicable reason, but it was humans that caused that destruction. And so they had like this contingency plan that's like, okay, we have our backup. We have these islands that for some reason are not destroyed, so let's go there and just live the rest of our lives there. But how is that, like, how does that, you know, solve the problem of humans, you know, like, how are they so sure that the islands themselves are not gonna get destroyed by human hands, just like how the rest of the entire world was? Have you committed everything so far to memory, Mr. Stinkbug? Yeah, like, yeah, I got it. The reason these islands are special is because they harbor a giant dragon nearly as large as the islands themselves. Long, long ago, people lived together with the dragon. However, at some point in time, the people and the dragon could no longer coexist. So using the 7 needles, the dragon was placed into a long, long sleep by the ancestors of the Magypsy people, who have lived here since ancient times. Ever since, the Magypsies have guarded the needles, in an effort to prevent the dragon from being woken until its power is truly needed. Thus, until the time of its awakening, the dragon continued to sleep as the power of the earth itself. And so, because of the tremendous energy of the dragon hidden deep below, these islands were protected from the end of the world. Everything so far has been about the dragon and the Magypsies. Did you understand all of it? Yeah, I got it. So, okay, so to recap, the world ended because of human hands, and there was this white ship that was like the backup plan to go to the bastion of, survival, which was the Nowhere Islands, which they knew nothing was going to happen to them because they knew about the Dark Dragon that protected the place. And also, after a while, the dragon and the people could not exist, and so the dragon got sealed by the Magypsies by the 7 needles that we're trying to pull now. Those who came here aboard the white ship feared another end of the world more than anything else. Yeah, I mean, again, that's exactly what I said. If they could cause the end of the world once, what's stopping them from causing it again in the island? They felt that the world's destruction was a direct result of the way they had lived. Yeah. The people of the white ship discussed things at great length. They shared their wisdom and spoke with grave seriousness. And then they arrived at their conclusion. They decided to completely erase everyone's memories of the previous world and start their lives over with new rules and new rules. Oh, dude, don't tell me. Yes. Oh, no, you're telling me. In short, everyone would play out the ideal story that they had come up with. No way, dude. That is what happened. The people would restart their lives in a simple, peaceful village. Get out of here! Shut up! No! In the kind of place they wish they had grown up in. They would erase their memories of everything. The world, their belongings, their rules. And then they would begin their new lives. Okay. I thought you were exaggerating when you said that this is gonna tear in my heart and blow my mind. But you were literally tearing my heart and blowing my mind. That's like that time when my mom told me that Santa Claus is not real. Like, literally everything that we know is a lie. Literally. It's all just made up. Everyone's old memories would be reset and replaced with their newly created story, and thus the village of Tazmily came to be. However, it was necessary to record the fact that the memory replacement had taken place. The hummingbird egg was a device used to store the memory of the white ship people. So literally the egg is just like our hard drive. Like, the egg is like a giant USB that contains everything about the past. Wes and his son Duster, both playing the roles of thieves, were set to take action should a dangerous situation occur. Remember when they went to Asohe Castle? They went there to retrieve the secret of the people of the white ship. And there's one other thing. Me. It was essential that one person retain memory of the previous world, to sort of keep watch... to sort of keep watch over things. I was the only one in the village of Tazmily who wasn't given a role in the new story, so all of your memories are intact. You remember literally everything. The sound of my bell served as a suggestion to keep everyone's fabricated memories from reverting. My name, Ladder, comes from the word leader. No, that doesn't mean I was anyone special. It was just that I was particularly taller than all the others. Great. So upon discussion, I was selected because it would be easier for me to stand out. Being so tall, people will want to come see me, Such a casual answer. And so I was given the role of revealing these secrets when the time truly called for it. Everything so far has been about those who lost everything. Fuck, dude! Although Tazmily Village exists in reality, it was originally created as part of a story. I think this may be difficult to believe, but do you understand so far? God, that is very difficult for me to believe. I mean, so literally everything. Everything on the planet does not exist. Like, everything has been destroyed. We're living in like a post-apocalyptic Fallout universe. And this island is the only thing that's left. So we're living like literally from like square one with little tiny villages and stuff. And now like the cycle that destroyed the world to begin with is happening all over again by having like money and greed and selfishness and all that kind of stuff. It's like a rapid, like, everything that destroyed our world before is happening again. You really are blowing my mind, especially for a child, dude. Like, a child that was born and raised in these islands and in this place that they consider reality. A guy's literally just telling them, like, none of this is real. This is all just a made-up story because we screwed up. Let me also talk about Asohe Castle. Yeah, I'm interested in that because there's also lore. You know, like, is the castle made up? Is that temple with the 2 dragons made up? Like, well, there's a lot of things that say that they're, like, ancient and stuff, but for how long has this place been going? Apparently long ago, a kingdom existed on this island, centered around the king of Azohe. However, when we arrived on the white ship, the people of this kingdom were gone. Okay, so these people already existed before. There's like a previous civilization that no longer exists, and then we came in here. So, okay, so the castle is not made up. That already existed. But we came in here with that thing already there. It seems they had left the islands, fearing the dragon's eventual awakening someday. Before boarding the white ship, Princess Kumatora was an infant who had lost her mother and father. Upon coming to these islands, she was given to the Magypsies to raise, and given the role of princess of Azohe Castle, and that's why she knows PSI. And that's why she's very manly. I mean, not manly, but like, you know, boyish. Wes and Duster being her retainers was another part of the fabricated story. Azohe Castle is one of the few and precious relics on this island's past. The past that we don't even know about because a lot of it is made up. We crafted our story in haste, so the people inside it have very little past or history. Have you noticed no one in Tazmily can talk about things from 100 or 1,000 years ago? Well, I don't know, maybe if I like go back to the previous episodes and I hear like somebody talk about something, there's probably gonna be like one guy that tries to like avoid a question or something. But yeah, I mean, there really aren't a lot of dead people, you know, like there is a grave, but it's like less than 10 or 15 people, you know? It's always a big deal when someone dies. In truth, we had wanted to create an entire plethora of myths and legends, but our story was made in such a hurry that we weren't able to. It's a real shame. I'm sure that much of what I'm saying you'd rather not hear, but it's the truth. Have you listened to everything so far? Yeah, I mean, if I was in Lucas's shoes, I'd be crying and I'd be in a fetal position, being like, nothing is fucking real. Why does this even matter? We're all just gonna die in the end. Wow, no. God. It's like when I saw the galactic map in No Man's Sky. It's like, we are so insignificant. Have you committed everything so far to memory? This thing bug is like, what? Sorry, I wasn't listening. Can you say that all over again? Truthfully, we had no idea how Tazmily Village would turn out, but things actually went rather well. The people who had arrived on the white ship had fully taken to their new identities. They believed they had always lived together peacefully. It was when a person by the name of Porky stumbled upon these islands that everything started to go amok. It seemed he used a time distorter machine to travel to time and space at will. That's the time distorter machine from Earthbound. That's like that thing that looks like Mr. Saturn, like a giant Mr. Saturn with the trolley thing at the end of Earthbound. Yeah, that's the thing. So yeah, I think there's like 2 of them. And Porky used one of them to travel through time and space. I don't know if they say that on Earthbound, but I don't think they do. I think they leave that kind of vague and open. However, he was apparently shot out from all other times and spaces, and tumbled into this era in these islands. So he got rejected from all the other times and spaces for Porky being Porky, and like this is literally the last, you know, dimension that he is in. Even worse, he used his time distorter to bring many people from other eras here. The pig masks, as well as everyone in New Pork City, were all brought here and brainwashed by Porky. That explains why there's so many pig masks. I'm like, I'm always asking, like, where do they come from? Where are these, like, fat cowards coming from? These could all easily just be clones, you know? They could easily just be, like, clones of the same 2 or 3 people that got brought over by different dimensions. And it's like, okay, so here's the same guy from one dimension, here's the same guy from another dimension. All of these people from alternate timelines coming in to create an army. You know, like, what the hell? That's why everybody looks like exactly alike. That's why everybody's equally as like cowardly, or maybe they're all different people, but they were all grabbed from a very specific dimension, and of course brainwashed. This Porky fellow seems to view these islands as his own personal toy box, literally like the last final island that is left on the planet, the last little bit of survival, and Porky's using it as his fucking toy box, with which he can do anything he wants. Yeah, like, I don't know if Porky had anything to do with the destruction of the old world, but if he did, like, it's still not enough for him. He would take animals apart and recombine them to make creepy new chimeras. Yeah, so it is him turning everybody into robots. As a childlike dictator, he began doing whatever he pleased, including building Thunder Tower and forming his own army. Yeah, Porky eventually learned a white ship secret because of a traitor among the Magypsies. Yeah, and that explains all of the bases. Like, you know, when you go to Thunder Tower, there's a certain point where there's like the maid and the yo-yo and all the toys. Like, he's still like as immature as can be. Do you understand about the intruder known as Porky? Guy, that's the perfect word for that. Intruder. Yeah, I know about him. This traitor was Locria, the 7th Magypsy, and the only one you haven't met yet. Yeah, I get the feeling there's gonna be a boss battle or something. After Locria joined forces with Porky, Porky learned about the White Ship people and the secret of the Sleeping Dragon. Porky decided to pull the needle to wake the dragon, so he could use the power for himself. For what? What's the point of having, like, infinite power if all that's left is just a bunch of crappy islands and nothing else? The dragon is the power of the very earth itself, you see. It's said that whoever pulls the sealing needles will become the dragon's master. However, only a very select few are capable of pulling the dragon's needles. Yeah, somebody like Lucas and the Masked Man. Apparently, neither the Magypsies nor Porky have that capability, yet the needles are being pulled now. That means Porky is somehow controlling someone who can control the dragon's power, which is the Masked Man. We have to put a stop to Porky's antics. I think antics is kind of putting it lightly. If we don't, the world will be completely destroyed again, and it will spell the true end for everything. Yeah, because all that's left is this. For Porky, that might be the ultimate pleasure, but we can't allow it to happen. We, the last handful of people there are in existence, mind you, absolutely can't allow it to happen. Lucas, it seems you're a chosen one, with the ability to pull the needle sealing the dragon away. You must pull the dragon's needles with your own hands, and pass your heart on to the dragon. Let this be my one and only order to you as your leader. Do you understand everything about the dragon's awakening? Hell to the yes, I do. I hear that 6 of the dragon's needles have already been pulled. Yeah, 3 of them by the enemy, 3 of them by us. Deep in the earth, the dragon is likely beginning to stir from its sleep now. Supposedly, the last needle is somewhere near here in Newport City. Porky has been gathering everything that lives on these islands into Newport City to prepare for the final needle's pulling. It's possible that he's planning to hold one final twisted party. But now is our chance to change this looming crisis into a golden opportunity. All things may come to an end, or a new and bountiful things may begin. Wouldn't you like to help that happen? Lucas, you were once a weak, fragile boy. By now you've been given a tremendous role to fulfill. Now that you know everything, including everything I'm sure you'd rather not know, the time has come for you to save the future of all life as we know it. God won't make you bear more than you can carry. I'm sure you've heard that phrase before. Over there in the Babel, in the Babble, know that you aren't fighting alone. Everyone, and I do mean everyone, will lend you their support. Except for the people that hate you and don't want anything to do with you. That was a long story, but that is the end of everything I have to tell you. Did you understand it all? Yeah. Only the Magypsies really know the needle's location, so I don't know where to find them. But from the way Porky and the others have been acting, I would say they're now very close to reaching the 7th needle. Please, Lucas, be the one who pulls the final needle. Porky issues his orders from the 100th floor of the Empire Porky building. Start by jumping into the fray and storming the building. After that, you can start looking for clues. It's been such a long time since I've spoken to anyone, and now I'm exhausted. Yeah, the one time you talked like forever. This stinkbug should remember everything I just said. Take him with you. That way, if you happen to forget anything I said here, you can ask him to repeat it. I didn't even know that Stinkbug could talk. Will you go with him, Mr. Stinkbug? Okay. He's gonna come with us. He's gonna be an item. Bring him with us. We got the memory. Right, so let's check that out. Let's see, how using the Stinkbug actually looks like. Franklin badge. Stinkbug's memory. A record of letters long and important in his story, in case you need to hear it again. It says, telling me to press A. Oh. Oh, there we go. So it's just that. Oh, okay. Wow. Okay, then, so that was kind of a hardcore thing to hear. So, basically, to summarize, everything that I know is a lie. None of this is actually real. This is just some fictional world that people made up because the world ended and we needed a way to survive. And, now history is literally about to repeat itself because Porky is inserting all of those things that caused the world to get ruined to begin with. Which is stuff like greed, selfishness, laziness, cowardice, never worrying about other people, that kind of stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a hardcore thing to think about, especially because it's super, like, is way more related to real life than you might expect, you know? Like, that's some pretty massive social commentary on what's actually happening in the real world now. Like, it still holds up. It's like a, you know, I love, this is what I love about the Mother games, because it goes from such a big, like, I mean, it goes from a very simple story, right? And in its, you know, closest, most base elements, it is a very simple story. It's literally just a story of a family that tore itself apart and now is trying to save itself, you know? It's like, Lucas wants to find Klaus. That's literally the entire story. But, you know, all this entire, like, everything that is around him, like this existential thing and super mystical thing about the world ending and, you know, memories being erased and mythology and ancient civilizations and life existing before you and after you and, you know, this kind of post-apocalyptic universe where all that's left are a bunch of violence where people don't remember anything from the past and so they accidentally end up, you know, making the same mistakes as before. Like, that's some really heavy stuff. And this, everything is kind of dressed in this, like, hey, you know, go and, you know, eat some omelets, you know, like, it's not, wow, that's pretty hardcore. Anyway, enough about that, and let's actually start kicking some ass, why don't you? Let's actually run. I kind of want to run and go to the tower. We need to go and fix all of this, and there's nobody in the world that is going to stop me, okay? Not even these freaking roaches. Yeah, I do want to get out. Let's get out of here. They're gonna hit me, but yeah, I mean, I'm either gonna dodge or it's not really gonna do much. Get out of here. We're gonna go and raid that tower. Nobody's gonna stop me. Nobody. Except for that thing that's bubbling in the water. What the hell is that? No! What's going on? Don't tell me it's Facade. I saw a lot of trumpets fly up. No, you're kidding me. Ugh. Nue, says the interpreter. That's one Nue and 8 Hes. So you want a rematch? Is that it? Jeez. You know, you were not that difficult to beat before. And there you go, copying them Gypsy songs. Oh, what a pleasure it is to see you again. No, wait. Long time no see, Facade says. I say Nue to you, for I will now give you thoroughly destructive damage. He goes on to say, I have been remade into an incredible, fiercely powerful, and dangerous ultimate weapon. Really? You look exactly the same to me. You look just as pathetic as you were before. Therefore, I will absolutely, unquestionably be victorious over you, is what Facade says. What's more, I will put an end to your tale. Can't I save? I really would love to save right now. I will give you damage, and then provide you with even more damage until you are soundly defeated. I'm not gonna save state. That's not a thing that I do. If I die, I die. But I'll give it my best shot. That's what Facade says. Alright then. You want a rematch? Let's do it. Now then, here I come. Facade is now ready to fight. Here he comes. Look, man, I'm gonna get into that tower. I'm gonna go to the 100th floor. I'm gonna kick Porky's ass, and I'm gonna get the needle so that I could just freaking fix all of this. And you are not even close to stopping me.